states across the U.S. have started to reopen their economies. Florida is on that list. The Sunshine State reopened certain businesses on May 4th, except in the hard-hit counties of Southeast Florida, Broward, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach.
But now several Democratic members of Congress from South Florida are telling Governor Ron DeSantis to slow down on reopening, warning of, quote, grave concerns. Joining us now is Florida Republican Congressman Greg Steube. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. We want to get you. Yeah, great. We want to get your reaction. It's been a few days since Florida started to reopening. How's your district reacting?
Yeah, I think my district's elated to be able to get back to somewhat steps into normalcy. Some restaurants are open. There's a big mall that's in Sarasota County that opened up at 25% capacity, and you see people excited to just go out and walk around and be able to partake and go into restaurants and going to retail establishments. And what you haven't seen is a spike in cases and a spike in admittance to hospitals for COVID-19 and a spike in deaths. So I think a measured opening is a good response, and I think we need to get back to it. You know, the numbers this morning, 14.7 unemployed. A lot of those, obviously, Florida is facing a lot of that as well, and we need to get people back to work, and I don't think it's a threat to their safety or health in order to do that.
Congressman, there are differing opinions on that. In fact, 7 Democratic members of Congress from South Florida, including Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, are warning Governor Ron DeSantis of reopening too fast. What's your message to them?
Well, what's interesting is it's political. I mean, it's all Democrats that are calling upon a Republican governor to stop reopening the economy when they would love nothing more than the economy to continue to tank, because they knew that was a big thing that's going to buoy President Trump's reelections in the fall. So that's one of the strongest numbers that he's had is the unemployment rate, and now it's at an all-time high. I think as states start to reopen, you're going to see people get back to work. You're going to see the market kick back up. Right before I got on this call, I saw that the market's up today, even though there's 14.7 unemployment number nationwide. So, of course, Democrats are going to call on Republicans to keep things as it is and to shut down. Biden was calling upon DeSantis to shut down the state weeks before he did it in a measured way that still kept essential businesses open, which has been a great thing. I mean, if you have people going every day to Publix's and Walmart's and to Home Depot's and Lowe's, and there's not a spike in infections and there's not a spike in hospitalizations, then certainly those same people can go to restaurants and retail shops.
Yeah, I just want to say and point out, of course, that the numbers we're seeing in New York are much different than the numbers we're seeing in Florida. And so every state is going to have a different approach to it. Meantime, Congressman, want to switch gears a little bit. As you know, new developments came out on the Russia investigation. We now know what was going on behind the scenes during those classified interviews Congressman Schiff was conducting. Let's listen to this sound from President Trump and get your reaction.
So Schiff is a crooked politician, crooked as can be, probably one of the worst I've ever seen. I've seen some beauties. A liar. He's a terrible person. He's terrible for our country. He made a speech on the impeachment hoax where he quoted me. He went about quoting me, talking about quid pro quos 8 times, think of it, 8 times, and there was none. The call was a perfect call.
All right, Congressman, you served on the House Judiciary Committee that was part of the impeachment hearings. What's your response to hearing what the president had to say about Adam Schiff?
Well, he's correct. I sat and watched Chairman Schiff give his dissertation of that phone call, and he completely misrepresented the pretense and the call facts that actually occurred. And that's unfortunate because it was aired live on mainstream media all across the country. And people are going to believe a chairman of a committee sitting in front of a committee giving a dissertation of what the call was, and it was complete and absolutely false. I signed on to a censure resolution, but of course, the Republicans don't have the majority in the House, so that censure resolution failed on party lines, but he should have been censored for completely and utterly falsely misrepresenting the call transcript between the Ukrainian president and President Trump to all of the American people on live network television. So at some point, maybe when the Republicans get back to control of the House, we'll be able to censor him for that misrepresentation and those misstatements as a chairman of a committee. But I am very happy and thankful that the DOJ dropped the charges against General Flynn. I'm also hopeful that he's going to be able to get some justice for the people that were involved in that. I hope that all of the people that were in the FBI and involved in setting him up are going to see justice as well. And I look forward to AG Barr bringing those cases to those individuals.
Congressman, I just have a few seconds with you. This is a complete Friday topic, has nothing to do with what we're talking about. NFL recently put out their schedule. Okay, there's a lot of excitement in Tampa. You got Brady, you got Gronkowski there now. Are we going to be able to see fans in the stands when these games play? What do we know about that?
I sure hope so. I grew up in the Tampa Bay area. My family's been here for generations, and we're big Bucs fans. And I'm looking forward to seeing Tom Brady throw touchdown passes to Gronkowski in the end zone. So hopefully, if it gets down to August, September, October, I would think by then we'll be past phase 2 and phase 3 of reopening, and hopefully all of our athletic events will be open for the public to come. And if you're still at risk or you feel uncomfortable, you can wear a mask. You cannot go to those events, but open them up for people that want to partake in those activities.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm not even a Tampa fan, but I want to see those guys. That's awesome.